way WWE keeps its viewers hooked is by producing salacious content. However, sometimes they cross the line, and that can lead to scandal. Hi, I'm Emily May, and here are 5 of the most scandalous moments in WWE. Number 5, Stone Cold and Brian Pillman almost get Raw canceled. The longest-running weekly episodic show in history, aka Monday Night Raw, could have gotten canceled in November of 1996, and the reason was a controversial segment involving Brian Pillman and Steve Austin. Pillman and Austin were involved in an uber-hot rivalry, and it got to a point where Austin invaded Pillman's house. Pillman went ballistic and did the unthinkable as he pulled out a 9mm handgun on Austin. What's more interesting is that even though most of this episode of Raw was pre-taped, the Austin-Pillman segment was actually broadcasted live. The segment also included Pillman dropping the F-bomb. Even though the segment was pre-approved by the USA Network, it received major backlash. McMahon got calls from parents complaining about what their kids witnessed, so much so that the USA Network higher executives almost canceled Raw because of it. Nevertheless, the incident is sometimes hailed as the moment the Attitude Era was born. Number 4, Shawn Michaels reminds Bret Hart of sunny days. Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart's rivalry is one of the most personal and heated ones in wrestling history. Both on and off screen, these two legends were involved in fiery clashes in WWE. In May 1997, an episode of Raw featured a promo by HBK who implied that Bret Hart had an affair with former WWE star Sunny by saying, "Bret, believe me, you couldn't go 10 minutes in any situation. Even though lately you've had some sunny days, my friend, you still can't get the job done." This came after Hart said that he could beat Michaels in 10 minutes. This did not sit well with the Hitman, and it kicked off a bitter rivalry between the two. Hart later revealed in various interviews that this promo caused real problems in his marriage, with even his father questioning him about it. A few weeks later, after the promo was cut, Hart even confronted Shawn backstage about it, which led to a real-life fight between them. Jim Ross, who witnessed the fight, said that Michaels lost a lot of hair as Bret went after him. However, the two legends have since made peace publicly. Number 3, Medusa trashed the WWE Women's title literally. The Monday Night Wars were a true spectacle as competition in the industry increased, with WCW competing with WWE. We saw many shocking defections from Hulk Hogan to Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, leaving WWE for WCW. However, a major defection by WWE's Alundra Blaze led to quite the scandal. Blaze left WWE and joined the WCW roster in 1995. She appeared on an episode of Nitro on December 18th and shocked the world since she was at the time the WWE Women's Champion. She took the title on WCW TV and threw it in a trash can and introduced herself as Medusa. Many believe she showed the ultimate disrespect to WWE. One person who seemed very happy was Eric Bischoff, who was in charge of WCW's creative team at the time. In her later interviews, Medusa revealed that it was all Bischoff's plan. Number 2, Brock Lesnar concusses Randy Orton and fights with Chris Jericho. Getting in a physical altercation with any wrestler seems like a nightmare. But imagine if that wrestler was Brock Lesnar! The Beast incarnate can rip anyone to shreds, even if they are a 14-time WWE champion like Randy Orton. And so, Lesnar did. SummerSlam 2016 saw a brutal bout between two of WWE's top stars in Orton and Lesnar. The match ended with Lesnar on top, but the brutality didn't end with the match, as Lesnar seemingly went off script and battered Randy Orton's head until Orton was left in a pool of blood. This seemingly unscripted incident by Lesnar led to a confrontation backstage with Chris Jericho. Jericho appeared recently on the True Authority podcast and said that he was ready to bite Lesnar's nose off. Literally. Chris added that Vince McMahon was able to stop the fight, but he revealed that he had instructed Brock to do that with Randy. Thankfully, cooler heads prevailed as both men were separated, or it could have gotten really ugly. Number 1, Vince McMahon stages his death. No chance, that's what you got when you try to figure out some of Vince McMahon's storylines. In 2007, Vince McMahon pulled off one of the most controversial and scandalous storylines in history. On an episode of Raw in June, WWE held a Vince McMahon Appreciation Night, which was mostly spoiled by wrestlers and celebrities insulting Vince throughout. The climax saw Vince leaving the arena as superstars lined up to see him walk off. Got into a limousine to exit the venue and boom! Yeah, the limo exploded. With Vince McMahon seemingly inside it, WWE went ahead with the storyline and pretended that McMahon had died. So much so that Donald Trump also thought Vince was dead. However, the storyline was soon dropped after Chris Benoit's death forced Vince to appear on TV live to address the fans. It's hard to imagine where this original arc could have gone. Well, that's our list. Subscribe to Sportskeeda Wrestling for more.